Nah, what's up, sexies? Happy hump day. Man, it's gorgeous out here. Can't argue with that. So, haven't had anything really good going on, talk about in a sense. But some things have come around. So, let's go ahead and just make this a hump day rant. Man, you know, I talk about putting these keys out here and judgment and all kinds of other stuff. And, you know, over probably the last, I'd say, week and a half or so, you know, I've talked to a bunch of different people about all kinds of different things, and it's brought some light to my eyes as far as just being yourselves, you know. I talk about the words and understanding what you're saying and what people really mean, and their words, their conviction, you know. So people talk about being sharp and sharp mind, being a young age, all kinds of different stuff, and you know, I don't take it that way. I carry around a backpack full of artillery for a reason, because I've been hurt. You know, I've learned that as we go through, you know, sometimes we open doors and we let people in, when in all reality, there's nothing wrong with opening a door to talk to somebody new, or to try to shed some light on someone's life, or maybe even figure out, you know, if it's something you want to pursue with your own. But that's just it. Just because you open a door doesn't mean you got to let someone in. Make sure it's warranted before you decide to let somebody in. And, you know, this comes about, I had a sweet girl that I've been talking to. You know, she's a wonderful mother, and she's given up a lot to be where she's at in her life. And, you know, she's doing it for her children, so I won't say anything one way or the other. But when I talk about the conviction of others, about putting your past down and not carrying it with you, this is a key point. Because, for instance, I get hit up at about, I don't know, 1 a.m. in the morning, talking about, I'm drunk. Okay, I understand. We all know how drunk texting goes. You wake up in the morning and look at your phone and go, oh crap, I got a lot of explaining to do. But being head game strong, as I like to say, you know, it's one of those things where you're not going to take your convictions and put them upon someone else, especially someone like myself. You know, if you're hitting someone up at 1 in the morning drunk, what's the first thing that's assumed? Okay. So, you know, I have no ill will towards her whatsoever, and I know she said she felt embarrassed, but, you know, you go and you say these things, and I'm me. Most of you that talk to me know me. You know, hey, how you doing? You know, how's life been? How's the little ones? What's really good with you? And you want to go and say something about don't have a mind like that, blah, 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 blah. Look, a lot of people don't read into stuff like I do. Please believe that every time someone sends me a friend request or has anything to do with me, I dig into you. I look at your profile. I look at the pictures. And I don't go back for years and years. I'm not a creeper, as they would call it. But I want to make sure I know who I'm talking to, if you've got somebody or if you don't. Not that I'm going to say anything that I shouldn't say, but I want to know what I should or shouldn't gear my conversations towards, because I always adapt to my environment. And, you know, you pass judgment on me like I'm one of the others, possibly. I'm not that way in any way, shape, or form. And then you want to go a step further and say, you know, I used to be a stripper, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I have the face of what looks like a regular strip club connoisseur. So, you know, and we've had another girl in the group, you know, that has had a troubled past, and someone bought her a gift for Mother's Day, and maybe she went off the deep end a little bit. You know, you can't hold your past or the things that you've done against anybody else in your future. It's the fastest way to, one, make yourself look bad, and two, to ruin anything that you could ever want out of it. So, like I say, when you open these doors, when you talk to people, when you go and you put yourself out here and you try to find something that you're looking for, maybe even being a friend. You know, when you open that door, don't just let anybody in. Ask the right questions. Like I said, make sure it's warranted. Carry around your backpack full of artillery. Because, you know, there's plenty of people out here that are going to try to come in, snake their way in, or any other case. You know, we've got another guy in the group who's an awesome guy. You know, sometimes I worry about him, but, you know, I know that he's a good guy, man. He's got a good heart, and he's put himself out here a lot. And he had one of the girls in one of his groups. They got together, and she took advantage of him, and she took everything he had. You know, when we first meet people, we should treat them like revolving doors. You can come in and you can go back out at the same exact time. And if you're going to take a leap of faith with somebody, you know, make sure you know. Don't hold your past convictions against anyone, because, like I said, in the end, it's only going to make you look dumb, or it's going to take you right back down the path you were. So, you know, y'all stay up and stay beautiful. You know, it's easy to misguide, misinterpret things, you know, especially, like I said from a past video, when you don't really trust yourself. So, keep your head game strong, keep moving forward, keep fighting a good fight, because, you know, you only get one. And we've wasted enough time of it as it is, right? It's time to stand on our own 2 feet and take care of stuff. Be happy again. Live our lives. Not worry about what others got to say. And don't blame anybody else for the things that have happened to you in your past. I have that same problem. You know, I was talking to a girl earlier, and she's a very sweet friend of mine. She lives in Narnia or something, but, you know, if I ever had the opportunity to date the girl, I would, because I totally see her heart. She's a great, great girl. And it's one of those things where you take too much out of a situation, and you can put so much love into something only to find out that there was never any love in return. For instance, you're possibly drowning, and all you can say is, "I love you" from the shore, instead of going to save somebody. You know, that's how it seems to be a lot of things are turning out anymore. We're willing to swim the deepest of waters to try to make things work with anyone that we really want. But sometimes that person won't do the same for you. You got to remember to ask the right questions. Don't let everybody in. Check everybody at the door. And if you're going to drunk text, drunk dial anybody, maybe it's just best that you turn your phone off before you decide to get into all that. Because, you know, they say cocaine's a hell of a drug. Alcohol is probably the worst thing out here, because it's the biggest truth serum. You ever want to know how someone truly feels about you? Give them a little alcohol. I love you guys. Y'all stay up and stay beautiful. And, man, just watch yourself. It is what it is. We don't trust ourselves anymore, like I said. So it's time to start trusting yourself again. Start taking small steps towards that. And hopefully everything works out. Hopefully we don't get back into these situations that we've been in. But we win and we lose. There's lessons to be learned for each and every one of us. Sometimes it's got to be the hard way. That's the hardest thing about it. Love you guys. Y'all stay up and stay beautiful. As always, I'm going to keep kicking it out here, and I'll see y'all around.